2-0 on Isbel. And that's drilled to deep right field. And Kyle Isbel hits a line drive home run to right. And the Royals lead 1-0 in the third.
Izzy says, hey, you can't sneak a piece of cheese by me. And he turned on it for his 5th home run. 20th ribby. Great swing. You can tell by the sound all the way up here that he got it all.
Y'all, I can't even think of a witty, humorous way to open up tonight's Royals recap presented by Royals Review. This was an embarrassing series opener, I will say. Let's go ahead and talk about it, shall we? But first, before we do, make sure you are checking things out over at RoyalsReview.com. You could have suffered through this game with other Royals fans in the game thread, or you could have checked out tonight's game recap, or the recap after every single game presented by one of the great crew members over there at RoyalsReview.com. I blinked and this game was gone. Literally, my wife and I, we were out doing things, and I got in the car, loaded it up on Sirius XM to check the score, and lo and behold, it was 6-2 Texas Rangers. When I put my phone down, it was 2-1 Royals. Like, you know what? This is a low-scoring game, but Brady's doing okay. Got out of a jam. I was fairly nervous about that, but despite all odds, the guys in the bottom half of the Royals lineup are getting things done. That has to be a good sign. The top half will come around shortly tonight. No, that didn't happen. That did not happen in the slightest. Salvador Perez catching behind the dish tonight. 4 strikeouts in 4 at-bats. The golden sombrero accounting for 1/3 of the Royals' team strikeouts tonight, combining for 12 strikeouts to only 2 walks. I don't know if they had some baggage lost in between the flight from Oakland to Texas, but I will say that if they lost some baggage, it might have contained their plate discipline. Just saying. Might want to go back to American or whoever the hell they fly through and try and find that baggage, that plate discipline. Who actually had a hit tonight? Well, not the top half of the lineup, I will say that. Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, and entering this game, the red-hot Freddie Fermin. Between all of them, they only had 2 hits tonight, which is absurd. I'm sorry, any team is going to lose when the top half of your lineup produces like that. When between all 5 of them, they have 7 of your team's strikeouts. It's only 1 walk. They're telling me that out of all that, those are the guys that you want to get the most plate appearances, right? And they only get on base 3 times? Like, that's not going to get it done. And I get it. Like, I'm not criticizing Quatraro's lineup construction here, because I would have done the same thing. But looking at the game in hindsight, it didn't work out. And it's hard for a team to win when the best bats are not producing at all. This team already goes as Bobby Witt Jr. It already goes as Salvador Perez goes. Freddie Fermin has been the guy that as he goes, the whole team goes. Well, when none of those guys are doing good things at the plate, it's hard. It's hard to win. It really is. Kyle Isbel, he kicked off the scoring for tonight's game with a solo shot in the 3rd inning off of Nathan Eovaldi with 2 outs. His 5th on the year. So good job there. And I will say some folks were surprised when he came out. Kyle Isbel, he came out with some back tightness. He talked about it post-game. We will hear from him later on. And Garrett Hampson, in relief of him, a hit, an RBI. Just think about that. Kyle Isbel and Garrett Hampson plated the only 2 runs that this team scored tonight. That's it. Who scored said runs? MJ Melendez and Kyle Isbel. 3 of the most maligned batters in this Royals lineup, in this Royals roster, really. Those are the only ones producing tonight down in Texas. An absolute travesty from this team tonight. Absolutely. You're going to have these slow games, but when MJ Melendez, Nick Lofton, Kyle Isbel, and Garrett Hampson are getting 4 of the 6 hits, they're producing 2/3 of your hits, that's not good. That is not a recipe for success. I think we all know that. Let's go ahead and run down some of the good things tonight. Brady Singer, he did not implode. That's good. Pitched 5 innings of 3-hit, 1-run ball, only walking 2 and striking out 4. That's okay. That's okay. I'll take that. He got into a little bit of a jam in the bottom of the 4th. Bases loaded, 1 out, strikes out Travis Janikowski to finally get that second out, and really just, he escaped that by the skin of his teeth. And he did all that just for the bullpen to come in and ruin a good thing. John Schreiber, the man that I have praised time and time again on this podcast, the man that I have praised as one of the most savvy trade acquisitions that this team has seen in recent years. He has continued to implode, and tonight just took the cake. Let me tell you about tonight before I talk about, some long-range stuff. He caught the loss tonight. Only recorded 1 out, gave up 3 hits and 3 earned runs. No strikeouts, no walks, but 3 earned runs to only 1 strikeout. Absolutely insane. Including tonight, his last 7 games. He's only pitched 5 1/3 innings with 6 hits in that span, walking more batters than he has struck out. Okay, well, that's 7 games. Last 15 games. 12 innings pitched, 12 earned runs given up, and 1 for 1 in the strikeout to walk department. This man was red hot in May. Really was. But, damn. I don't know if the man from Wyandotte, Minnesota needs to go to the trainer and have a mysterious injury. I don't know if he just needs to be benched in the bullpen for a while. We've seen that happen. But unfortunately, the 30-year-old is not getting it done, and he hasn't been getting it done for quite a while. This was a man that we trusted, that we looked at James MacArthur and him. Like, you know what? These guys are getting it done. I'm not nervous seeing them come out of the bullpen. That has changed drastically. John Schreiber now carrying a 4.15 ERA on the year and a 10.13 ERA in his last 7 games. Absolute travesty. I hate to see it. And folks, you can come at me about this next take, but Sam Long, he didn't have it tonight either. He recorded the final 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, allowing 2 hits, 2 earned runs of his own with a walk and a strikeout in that span. I am going to be more forgiving to the lefty. I really am. Because this has not been a consistent problem. Sam Long isn't coming out of the bullpen and blowing away batters. He's not. That's not who he is. He's going to nibble. He's going to pitch to contact. But this was the first outing that he allowed earned runs. Can you believe that? Called up just a day more than a month ago. Made his first appearance on May 21st. He had not allowed an earned run since. This was his first time. And yeah, the strikeout stuff isn't there. But I am still going to be more patient with him. But between those two, that put the Royals in a hole that they were not going to dig themselves out of. Carlos Hernandez comes in behind them, gave up a hit, gave up a walk, but no runs of his own. And Nick Anderson, a man that I once really wanted to see demoted, he came in the bottom of the 8th. No hits, no runs, 1 walk and a strikeout. Imagine telling folks just a couple weeks ago that Nick Anderson and Carlos Hernandez were getting it done and Drawn Schreiber was the problem in the bullpen. What a time. What a time to be alive. All in all, the Kansas City Royals are sitting at 42-35. Still 7 games above 500. But they are sliding. They are sliding quickly. All right, no one should be calling the season off. No one should be, saying, hey, I'm looking for some free tickets to Kauffman because the team is not gonna get it done this year. That's not where they're at. But damn, if they don't already know where their problems lie and are aggressive about fixing them, that is a problem. They are 3-7 in their last 10 games. Sitting in 3rd in the AL Central. There has only been one team who has been worse in their last 10 games. And that is the Oakland Athletics, who are 2-8 in their last 10 games. Those 2 wins against the Kansas City Royals. This has been, I get it. The stretch against the division leaders was brutal. It really was. But we all wanted to see how they were going to respond to that. We wanted the Oakland Athletics series to be a get-right series before you go down and face off against the defending World Series champions. Well, they did not get right in Oakland, and they're not starting off on a good note down in Texas. I want to see a good response to this loss. When you have the team captain going up there and getting 4 strikeouts, when you have Bobby Witt Jr. in his home state struggling, when you have Michael Garcia making his return to the lineup, and granted he got a hit and a walk, but he looked very impatient, very frustrated at the plate at times. We just need some life. And we didn't see it tonight against the Rangers. Plain and simple. So I know nobody in the locker room's listening to this podcast. If they're listening to anyone, it should be Josh Vernier. But what I would challenge that clubhouse to be is to be introspective and wonder what is going wrong. Okay, we're beyond just a slump. We are at a point where some of these players need to evaluate, what am I doing wrong? Is it my mental state? Is it my physical state? Am I not preparing for games properly? Now, these guys are professionals. They've been doing this for years. But that doesn't mean they can't improve at it. And if they need to make some mid-season adjustments, I would gladly take those down in Texas. I would gladly love to see those ahead of the All-Star break and head into the second half of the season on a strong surge rather than dwindling and fading and losing gas as the dog days of summer approach. Coming up on the other side of the ad break, we will hear from manager Matt Quatraro, and then we will also hear from outfielder Kyle Isbel, who had that solo home run tonight. And let's see, who else did Bally's get for us tonight? Who'd they get? They got Brady Singer for us. We'll hear from him last. Stay tuned.
Stuff was good. That's a tough lineup, especially with all the good lefties in there. And Slider looked good today. Both sliders were good, and he executed a lot of them. His velo was up in the beginning of the game, so there were a lot of positives there.
And his limiting the damage, I guess, in that 4th inning, it was a big strikeout of Janikowski.
Yeah, bases loaded, down in the count, or he's behind in the count and executing those breaking balls. That guy doesn't strike out much either, which is really impressive.
Kyle gave you a great swing, and then I guess he had some lower back.
Yeah, just some tightness in his lower back, and it's probably something he could have played with, but we just didn't want to chance it. And, we're in a long stretch of games right now, so we're going to see if we can just calm it down a little bit, but we don't think it's anything serious.
What'd you see on the swing?
Man, that ball was driven. Yeah, and quick look, I missed it completely on the replay, but it looked like it might have been in off the plate, and he was just ready to hit.
Tough night for the bullpen.
Yeah, Schreiber's been so good for us, just didn't execute tonight. Again, that's a tough lineup, and again, ground ball single, then the double, and then another ground ball single. It's just it was a tough night for him to not get those balls to go to somebody.
Just in general, I think you guys are 11 games over 500 at home, 4 games below 500 on the road. Can you point to anything, or is that?
Yeah, I don't know what most teams do or any of that, but I know our guys feel really good at home. Our crowd has been great this year. The way they've supported us, we've had a lot of big comeback wins at home, so that's part of it. I think we've played some really tough games on the road, really, really close games, competitive games, and the numbers don't lie. We're below 500, so we got to do better.
I think Carlos Hernandez is okay.
Yeah, I just saw him shaking his leg a little bit right from the beginning, and I just didn't want to, not address it and see if he's all right, but he didn't even realize he was doing it.
I feel good. Better than I thought it was going to be. So.
The lower back tightness.
Yeah.
Did you tweak it, or what? Just any one thing that happened? Or?
No, it wasn't one thing. Been feeling it the past couple of days, and today just kind of cramped up on me.
Okay. Take us through the home run and swing and what you saw.
Yeah, obviously Evaldo's got really good stuff. He executed a lot of pitches tonight. I was only in there for one at bat, but got a pitch I could handle and put a good swing on it.
And Garrett hit your spot and came through as well, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For you, just with the back, you don't expect it to be, or is it a lingering issue? I know you said it's been there for a couple days, but just do you expect it?
No, it should be good tomorrow. So,
okay.
Yeah, just cramped up on me.
Felt good, just struggled there in the fourth, threw a lot of pitches, kind of drove my pitch count up, but was able to get out of there with 1 run. Got myself kind of in a hole there early, but escaped with 1 run. But I think just driving that pitch count up kind of took away from getting deep in the outing.
And just how about the at bat by Janikowski, and you getting the strikeout there? It looked like threw the slider quite a bit there.
Yeah, no, really tough kind of strikeout. You got to be in the zone with him, and obviously patient hitter there, but made some good pitches, and was able to get that strikeout there and get through the inning with 1 run.
I know you did run the pitch count up. Did you want to go out there for 6?
Yeah, no, I obviously did. Wanted to keep going there, but skipper told me I was done. Obviously, trust what he says.
Alrighty, y'all. That is going to do it for tonight's Royals recap. No Spotify Q&A, just with the missed episode and with the full length episode. Kind of threw things off, so we're going to start fresh tomorrow. So tomorrow, what do the boys got? What are we going to do? Well, face off against Texas, of course. And it should be Michael Wacha, who is not on the 26-man roster. We'll have to see a corresponding move, but it should be Michael Wacha making his return to the bump, and he will take that first pitch, or excuse me, we will see a first pitch at 3:05 p.m. Kauffman Standard Time. I hope it's a good one. I hope that they wash away the sour taste that Friday night's loss left. Hope they do it fast. If you want to get prepared for the game, make sure you go check out RoyalsReview.com. You can also follow them on Facebook and X at Royals Review. If you want to follow the podcast, please do so at Royal Rundown Pod. I'd greatly appreciate it. I like to think we keep you pretty informed too, but that's up to you. Only way you can find out is following us on X at Royal Rundown Pod. Once again, my name is Jacob Milham. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And until next time, go Royals!